You have to look your best, you know. My name is Vander Puchert, and this is Finding Frequency. So I'm right back behind my good microphone in my home here in Warsaw. So we traveled back to Brodnica. It took us about 2.5 hours. We just got home. I got home. Marta departed again, taking Frantzi to grandma, to Babcha, because grandma misses Frantzi. And, well, we assume that she misses Frantzi. We just wanted to go and drop him off a little bit to have a bit of a break. He drove us insane in the car. I actually tried to record him talking about his camping experience, or like he refers to it as his fire camping. But unfortunately, I discovered a Playmobil, that's like a little Lego-ish kind of toy, booklet in the car, and he saw a bunch of toys that he really wanted and proceeded to tell me on microphone that he hated his camping, he wanted to be back at home, and he wants me to buy him everything in said magazine. So that's no point. I can't get any truth out of him. But between you and me, I think he really enjoyed the camping experience. And I think also for us, a couple of nights, 2 nights out in the wild was enough. Now, between you and me, I've been roughing it. I've been out there in the military, did my thing. I bought a tent a long time ago, used it a few times for rock concerts. But I'm not really a big kind of outdoor kind of guy. I think Marta thought she was more, but I slept fine. She didn't get along too nicely because I think they had the wrong sleeping bags. Now, go figure, the South Africans got the right sleeping bag, and we have way more hotter temperatures in South Africa. I brought the sleeping bag from Africa, and the 2 Polish folks that I live with have the wrong sleeping bag. How does that work? Anyways, let's leave it there. I'm not fishing for compliments. Wink, wink. So I don't think Marta really enjoyed the camping experience, even though she made a huge effort. I mean, we had waffles, we had sausages, we had a little barbecue. It was really cool. I really think she did a lot of effort. The one thing that my wife also doesn't do, and this is not about criticizing, it's just how we get to know each other. I mean, I was thinking about, we have this saying in South Africa, when you, some of my Afrikaner friends will know this, is in in die kas, in die bas. And what that means is like one thing in the cupboard and one thing on the ass. It means like you're wearing one thing and you have a spare of another thing. When we were packing, Marta packed like, I think 3 or 4 outfits for Frantzi per day. We were carrying around a full tub of ketchup because Frantzi is completely like addicted to the stuff, just to name a few things. So Marta doesn't pack light, especially if she doesn't have to carry it. And I'm not saying I'm carrying it. I mean, we putting it in a kayak. So I'm not complaining for myself. It's just, I'm like on the motorcycle, much more used to traveling super light. I mean, you're going to be living out in the dirt. Going to smell like bum anyway. So, you know, when you get home, you take that first shower. Note to self, I need to go grab that first shower. And you feel refreshed and slip into the new clothes and sit in your clean house. You feel good about your adventure. You don't have to have that all in nature. Now, what also scares me is that Marta said that she really wants to live the camper wagon life. Now, in South Africa, we had this lifestyle, and I know one of my uncles is a legend when it comes to this, is the caravan. Do you know the caravan vibe? You know, when you pack up your whole house in a little trailer, hook it to your car, and then you scoot off to some camping vibe. Now, don't tell my family this, but I'm not a big caravan person. I don't see the point of packing your whole house in a trailer and then taking it somewhere and then living in that space. Perhaps I haven't really lived the caravan life, but I'm not keen. I'm just going like, go rough or go home. Or, on the flip side, book into a nice place. Live in a little hotel, little guest house, little Airbnb perhaps. Don't know how safe that is now these days, but I'd rather do that than tracking a big-ass caravan around. I think it's also mostly because I can't maneuver one of these big things hooked to a car. I mean, we can't even do that. But that also brings me to the point that Marta's like, we should have a camper wagon, like do like the camper thing. Now, I'm not completely averse to this idea. I would love to do that, but then travel Europe, not Poland. Come on. Travel Europe for a couple of weeks or an extended period of time, not for like a week. But now the joke is, in Poland, if you want to rent one of these, now Marta has done the homework. Trust Marta. It's about 600 zloty per day. Now, where she looked, I mean, probably you'll find cheaper somewhere else. Like I'm just thinking it might be like a stolen one from Belarus or somewhere. But anyway, that was a stupid joke. Sorry. But you don't want to you want to have good stuff when you travel, right? But now 600 zloty per day could book you into a really nice hotel. Really nice hotel. What would you do? I know what I would do. Anyways, joking about Belarus. One thing Marta and I spoke about when we had a time to sit around and just be in each other's company, which is also great about this. It's just what's going on in the world at the moment. So I'm watching what's happening with my friends in the States, and my heart goes out to the folks in California where there's a fire again. I don't know exactly what's going on. I just caught a friend of mine posting about it, and then also some of the news. I had some friends and or acquaintance actually lose a house there in the last big fire. And, how strange is this? Like, what's 2020 going to throw at us again? And now all the crazy things happening across the world, like Mali just had from my neck of the woods, Mali just had a coup and they kicked the president out. Once again, it seems like it's a president that's overstaying his welcome. And you go like, yeah, that's Africa, man. Wait a little bit. Just slow down when you throw like things at Africa. I mean, you've got in the States a guy who wants to kind of sabotage the postal services. Looks like they stopped that. Go, my American friends. I'm rooting for you guys. And then Belarus. I mean, I threw out a joke. And the crazy thing is that I now have a friend. I have a very, very good friend, acquaintance, and in a way also a business acquaintance who is based in Belarus. A nice startup, global startup, does business all across the globe. Do not underestimate the kind of, what Belarus is about. I mean, this is not just backyard neck of the woods vibes. This is like a country that does stuff. And there's some growing digital communities there, startups. It's like us, people. And once again, one of Putin's buddies sitting there, doesn't want to leave. Some old white guy clinging onto power, it seems. I mean, I need to be, and I stand to be corrected. If you're listening to this and you're going like, Vanity, you're full of beep, let me know. I'm willing to hear you out. But once again, not good things happening over there. And then, let's leave it there. I don't want to make this all political again. I was camping a few minutes ago. So camping was definitely cool. Happy to be back, even though it's a little bit earlier. To be honest, I would have minded to be next to the lake again. Although today when we were there, especially later today, during the end of, during midday, the wind started picking up. There was definitely clouds around. So I would have thought it was a little bit unpleasant. And then having a 3-year-old around, it's much easier when there's like nice temperatures and he can go swim, and he swam his ass off and played with little friends, and he had a good time. Daddy too, and mom, I think. Yes, mom did. So, okay. Back at the microphone, happy to be back, hopefully with a few more updates coming your way. I have some work to do in the next couple of days, but then also I set myself a challenge that I want to take the longboard out, go ride a little bit, explore the city on my own in a safe way. Just, I haven't been around my city, and I want to go and drink a cup of coffee, a good cup of coffee at one of my favorite places, and perhaps I'll take you with me. And one or two of my good personal friends want to catch up as well. One of my friends just came back from Switzerland, and I'd love to hear his stories. He was stuck in Switzerland. He's a Polish guy, works in Switzerland, and then got quarantined there. Isolated there with his family, luckily. Now he's back in Poland for a little bit, and I want to go hear all his war stories And then hopefully a good cup of coffee with my artist friend Katie, who you've heard on the show before, just to catch up with her. She's just done some training virtually for folks in China. Wow. Sometimes we get negative about things, and then I hear about my friends doing things like that. And once again, things aren't falling in Katie's laps. She's really just every day chipping away. She's not living the hustle culture. She is just chipping away, doing a thing, being generous. So I'm encouraged to hear that people like my friend Katie is doing things even in this time where things are tougher. It's difficult to do business. But yeah. Oh, and between you and me, I must say, like walking around there next to the Lake District there in Brodnica area, man, I wouldn't mind living there. If I can find a little piece of land where Martha and I can set up a little bit of a hut and, get Frantzi into a nice school over there. And if this virtual working continues, man, I would love to wake up there and go take a walk next to a lake, get out of the bustle. And I think there's a lot of people out there. We started looking at some land, perhaps dreaming about it. And it's way expensive, way expensive. I think everybody's got the same idea. Anyway, this has gone all over the place. I'm just excited to be back home. Also a little bit bittersweet because left the lake behind. I enjoy going there, being on that quiet piece of water, escaping from the bustle and from the keyboards and from the digital stuff. Recommend it. Really, really recommend it. And sending tons and tons of positive vibes right back at you. I know we're all struggling and facing all kinds of different things. Every day brings something new. And I just wish you had a little bit of what I experienced. And if I can share that with you, boom, let's do this. Thanks for listening.